Tell Kim Jong-un nuke this shit. I just don't want to be here when Kim Jong-un press that red button. They nuke this so shit turned to Fallout New Vegas. No, please, Kim Jong-un, press that button. Press.
Could the quest for online fame lead to a 70-year prison sentence? Johnny Somali, born Ramsey Khalid Ismael, rose to infamy as a live streamer, notorious for provocative antics across Asia. His controversial actions, ranging from cultural disrespect to legal violations, have spiraled out of control. Now, his reckless behavior in South Korea may result in dire consequences, not just for him, but potentially for international relations as well. Johnny Somali's provocative antics have taken a controversial and dangerous turn, this time involving North Korea and its enigmatic leader, Kim Jong-un. In a shocking statement, Johnny brazenly suggested that Kim press a red button to destroy Korea, leaving audiences stunned and alarmed. This reckless remark has not only raised eyebrows but also escalated concerns on multiple fronts. The chilling implications of Johnny's comment, though cryptic in their exact meaning, have sparked widespread unease. In the context of North Korea's secretive yet aggressive reputation regarding its nuclear arsenal, such statements are far from trivial. For many, they evoke fears of unintended consequences or even misinterpretation by a regime known for its unpredictable responses to perceived threats or insults. This inflammatory rhetoric arrives at a time of already heightened tensions on the Korean peninsula. The strained relationship between North and South Korea has long been a source of regional instability, with each side maintaining a precarious balance of power. Johnny Somali's remarks risk adding fuel to the fire, potentially triggering a new wave of diplomatic hostility. Experts have expressed concern that Johnny's words could be exploited by North Korea as propaganda material to justify its aggressive stance. Meanwhile, observers in South Korea and beyond are anxiously gauging the potential fallout, both in terms of inter-Korean relations and broader international diplomacy. In an age where even casual statements on social media or public platforms can have outsized consequences, Johnny Somali's latest provocation highlights the dangers of reckless rhetoric. As tensions simmer, the world watches closely, hoping that this latest controversy does not spiral into something far more dangerous. Johnny Somali's antics have caught up with him in South Korea, where he faces a range of serious charges under the law. A local lawyer detailed his potential legal violations, including misdemeanor, defamation, sexual harassment, insults, assault, and breaching the National Security Act by publicly playing North Korean propaganda. These offenses are no laughing matter. Together, they could result in a prison sentence of up to 29 years. In addition to jail time, deportation back to the United States remains a strong possibility. While this might seem like a solution for South Korea, it risks setting a dangerous precedent, potentially encouraging others to mimic Johnny's disruptive behavior without fear of significant punishment. This case highlights the gravity of Johnny's actions and the potential consequences he now faces. One of Johnny's biggest mistakes has been his failure to understand the legal and cultural framework of South Korea. Unlike the United States, where lawsuits are often filed over minor grievances, South Korean law takes a stricter approach. His repeated provocations and offensive behavior have pushed the boundaries of what is acceptable in South Korean society, further isolating him from public sympathy. Johnny's actions have had far-reaching consequences beyond his personal troubles. His behavior has perpetuated harmful stereotypes about Black Americans and Somali individuals in Asia. This has fueled prejudice against these communities, tarnishing the reputations of countless individuals who had nothing to do with Johnny's antics. For many, his actions represent a betrayal of trust and respect for the communities he claims to represent. In the face of mounting backlash, Johnny Somali attempted to address the controversy through a series of public apologies. However, these statements have been widely dismissed as insincere and calculated, further inflaming public sentiment. Central to the controversy is Johnny's apparent ignorance, or so he claims, about the cultural significance of South Korea's comfort women statues. These statues serve as poignant reminders of the wartime atrocities committed against Korean women, symbolizing resilience and the pursuit of justice for victims of sexual slavery during World War II. Critics were quick to point out glaring inconsistencies in Johnny's apologies. His actions leading up to the controversy appeared deliberate, with some accusing him of exploiting sensitive historical issues for attention. The timing of his apologies, coinciding with escalating public outrage, only fueled suspicions that his statements were more about damage control than a genuine recognition of the harm caused. Adding to the skepticism was Johnny's tone and delivery in his apology videos. Viewers noted a lack of sincerity in his words, with his dismissive attitude suggesting that he was more focused on minimizing the backlash than showing true remorse. Rather than expressing empathy or acknowledging the deep emotional significance of the issue, his responses came across as perfunctory and detached. The backlash against Johnny's apologies has been swift and severe. Social media platforms were inundated with criticism, with users condemning his perceived trivialization of a deeply sensitive topic. Many have called for greater accountability, arguing that a mere apology, especially one viewed as insincere, falls short of addressing the damage caused by his actions. This incident has also reignited broader conversations about cultural respect and the responsibilities of public figures. In an increasingly globalized world, actions and statements that may be dismissed as trivial or humorous by some can have profound implications for others. For Johnny Somali, the fallout from his so-called apologies serves as a stark reminder of the lasting consequences of ignorance and insensitivity on the global stage. Adding to Johnny's mounting troubles, his companions, Gino and Hanku, have reportedly abandoned him at a critical juncture, leaving him to face legal consequences alone. The unraveling of their so-called friendship has laid bare the reckless and self-serving nature of their behavior, highlighting a deeper rift that perhaps was simmering beneath the surface all along. The trio, once inseparable in their controversial escapades, now finds their unity shattered. Sources suggest that when confronted with the prospect of legal repercussions for their collective actions, Gino and Hanku chose to distance themselves from Johnny, ostensibly to evade responsibility. This sudden departure not only leaves Johnny isolated, but also underscores the fragility of alliances built on questionable foundations. Observers note that the actions of Gino and Hanku reflect a survival instinct overshadowing any genuine camaraderie. Their decision to abandon Johnny at his most vulnerable moment has been met with widespread criticism, painting a picture of opportunism and betrayal. The public's perception of the trio has shifted dramatically, with some expressing a modicum of sympathy for Johnny's plight amid the realization that he has been left to bear the brunt of the consequences alone. Now, Johnny stands as the sole individual likely to face prosecution for actions that were not his alone. Legal experts indicate that this could complicate his defense, as the absence of his former companions may limit his ability to distribute accountability or corroborate his side of the story. The situation raises pressing questions about loyalty and the ethical responsibilities individuals have toward one another when embroiled in legal disputes. The disintegration of their friendship serves as a cautionary tale about the perils of reckless behavior and the ephemeral nature of relationships founded on dubious activities. As Johnny navigates the legal challenges ahead, the absence of Gino and Hanku serves as a stark reminder of the consequences that can arise when trust is misplaced. In the court of public opinion, the narrative is evolving. While Johnny's previous actions have drawn substantial criticism, the betrayal by his former friends adds a layer of complexity to his story. Observers are keenly watching to see how Johnny will respond to this latest setback, and whether Gino and Hanku will face any repercussions for their roles in the unfolding drama. Johnny's repeated behavior has become a key factor in his legal troubles. From playing North Korean propaganda on public transportation to making inflammatory statements about the Korean government, his actions demonstrate a pattern of intentional provocation. These repeated offenses could lead to harsher punishment, as judges often take such patterns into account when determining sentencing. Johnny Somali's provocative actions have not only strained his already tenuous relationship with South Korea, but have also raised significant concerns about their broader implications for regional stability. His reckless behavior, which many have criticized as inflammatory and culturally insensitive, risks being misinterpreted by North Korea as deliberate propaganda orchestrated by South Korea, a dangerous misunderstanding in one of the most geopolitically volatile regions in the world. The Korean peninsula has long been a flashpoint of tension, with North and South Korea maintaining an uneasy truce since the Korean War's armistice in 1953. Against this backdrop, Johnny's antics, often veering into outright mockery of sensitive cultural and historical topics, have heightened fears of unintended consequences. North Korea, known for its hypersensitivity to perceived slights and provocations, could interpret his actions as an affront originating from South Korea, potentially fueling hostile rhetoric or actions. This scenario is not without precedent. North Korea has a history of using external provocations, whether real or perceived, as a pretext for escalating tensions. Should Pyongyang decide to respond to Johnny's behavior, it could exacerbate the already strained relations between the two Koreas, creating a ripple effect that extends beyond the peninsula and into the broader international community. Such an escalation could complicate diplomatic efforts by neighboring countries and global powers working to maintain peace in the region. Recognizing the potential fallout, calls have grown louder for South Korean authorities to take decisive action to prevent further complications. Critics argue that Johnny's continued provocations could undermine South Korea's diplomatic standing, forcing the government into an unenviable position of managing both internal backlash and external scrutiny. Some have suggested that South Korea take legal or administrative measures to hold Johnny accountable for his actions, sending a clear message that such behavior will not be tolerated. Additionally, there are concerns that inaction could embolden other individuals to engage in similarly reckless behavior, further jeopardizing regional stability. By addressing Johnny's actions decisively, South Korea has an opportunity to reaffirm its commitment to maintaining peace and cultural respect in an already fragile geopolitical landscape. As the situation unfolds, the international community is closely monitoring South Korea's response. Many are urging not only swift action, but also broader measures to ensure that similar provocations do not escalate into crises with far-reaching consequences. For Johnny, this marks yet another chapter in a series of missteps with potentially dangerous implications, both for himself and the region he has so carelessly disrupted. Johnny Somali's reckless pursuit of online fame has left a trail of cultural disrespect, legal violations, and international tension. His actions have not only jeopardized his own future, but have also harmed the reputation of entire communities and risked destabilizing an already fragile region. Is the fleeting allure of internet notoriety worth a lifetime of consequences? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear: the price of fame can sometimes be far too high,